It was about 7:15 on January the 23rd, 48 years ago, when in answer to a ring on the bell, my mum let in a very flustered minister into our home, clutching a handkerchief to his nose and with blood all down his shirt. I heard it on the local news, and although in the middle of a nosebleed, I had to come and see you were all right, he said. At 19 years of age, I was extremely embarrassed by all the fuss my accident the previous night had caused, especially as I felt okay. It had been in the newspaper and now reported on the television. My current boyfriend and I happened to be in the third car that had been involved in a similar incident, so there had to be some comment by the media. The phone and the doorbell seemed to ring all day with concerned relatives and friends inquiring about our welfare, and now the minister was involved. My boyfriend's sister had just bought a new car and had said that he could take me out in it for a run. As it was a very nice, bright night, we thought a trip to Tynemouth would be a good idea. When we arrived, we parked the car in the car park on the point where we sat and talked over our future plans before deciding to drive back. He started up the car, put it in gear, and we drove straight over the cliff. As we began the drop of 30 feet, my friend bumped his head on the steering wheel and knew no more. I, on the other hand, did not see my life flash before me, but somehow became very calm, knowing we would be all right. When we landed upright on the beach, the passenger window shattered, and I managed to free myself, knowing I would have to get Michael out in case the car went up in flames. Fortunately, the engine must have cooled. It wasn't very warm, and a young man suddenly rushed up to help me, muttering how the people in the nearby house, although not very pleased, had sent for an ambulance. By the time it arrived, my friend was back with us, but totally unaware of what had happened. We were taken to Tynemouth Infirmary, where they decided to keep him in overnight, and I sat and waited for my dad to come and pick me up and take me home, where my mum had a hot bath waiting. So I got a couple of days off work, some jazzy stockings to hide the bruises, and a mention in the press. And Michael, although he couldn't remember the actual incident, a date he would always remember. The media coverage was because, as the third couple to have a car go over at this point, it was decided it would be wise to put some railings around the car park. As I have never been back, I wouldn't know if this was achieved. Maybe now is the time. Apart from upsetting my family and friends, I was sorry I was unable to thank those who did help us that night. Strangers can be very kind. However, by the time the car was hoisted from the beach, anything remotely useful had been removed. Tyres, wheel hubs, etc. It was ever thus.